Hi everyone, Vegas Film Critic here, Jeffrey K. Howard, here to review the action film The Great Wall starring Matt Damon. Can you guess that I saw it in 3D? I know you're supposed to give these, when you get out of the movie theater, you're supposed to put them back. And I'm not a fan of 3D, and this just reinforces it after seeing The Great Wall. Movie surrounded in controversy because Matt Damon was cast in a predominantly East meets West production, one of the largest cast of Chinese actors of all time, and here's Matt Damon front and center as the white hero, or whitewashing Chinese culture or Chinese history, and he's the white savior, as they were calling him. And he's been defending himself all through the press junkets for doing press on the Great Wall. That's not the case. And after seeing the movie, it isn't. It really isn't. He plays a explorer trying to find gunpowder through some sort of trade trail. He's European, looking for the Chinese route to get gunpowder and then bring it back. And of course, he's also a mercenary for hire, so he's got skills. He's got a really terrible accent, but we'll get into that in a minute. So he ends up as getting far as part of the Great Wall. I'm not sure what part of the country it's in, but I think the south. But he sees the Great Wall, and of course, there's this incredible army on top of the wall, guarding the wall, because there's these demons, or these aliens. I'm not sure where they came from. They kind of do have a legendary backstory of they came on a meteor maybe or something. So they look very alien, very H.R. Geiger. And every 60 years, these creatures awaken out of the Great Green Mountain and attack the Great Wall, trying to get to the Chinese capital and, of course, take over the whole world. So their task every 60 years is this Chinese army is to defend the wall and destroy these creatures and save civilization, save mankind. And Matt Damon doesn't know what he stumbled into. He really doesn't, because he's there when he sees these creatures, these devil dogs, attacking the wall. And, it reminds you a little bit of World War Z. If you've seen the trailer, you see that all these devil dogs are like climbing up on the wall. And I thought that was a really great effect in World War Z. But I kept being reminded of Starship Troopers. They're up there, they're attacking these giant bugs, the military. It's the same thing. They're just doing the devil dog. So this is a Chinese version of Starship Troopers, which I think is one of the greatest sci-fi action films of all time. Paul Verhoeven is like my idol. So watching this movie, I'm like, okay, we have these overblown, bloated special effects, especially in 3D. And I'm sitting there and of course, 3D is a gimmick because you're watching it and just half the time you can do this and like, it's not necessary. But watching these effects in 3D, they're overkill, just tremendous overkill. And some of the special effects and some of the situations don't make sense. Bungee jumping down into these devil dogs, of course you're going to get grabbed. So overall, the special effects really are overwhelming through the entire film. And not only that, the story, it really stops. He shows up, they resist him, he joins the fight, they accept him, even though he's a stranger. It just really doesn't go any further than that. He tries to have maybe a little love affair or tryst with the Chinese general. She's really pretty. But you know what? It really doesn't, take the forefront of the movie. It's just one battle after another. And you just kind of get tired of these creatures because they're all one note. All they do is just attack. They're just like a pack of wild dogs, tens of thousands of them, and all they do is just attack this wall. And it just gets so monotonous and it gets so dull real quick. Now, it's common knowledge to know that China is buying up everything Hollywood, and also Hollywood does recognize how important the Chinese movie market is. In fact, it's essential. So now you're seeing, like recently, Triple X, we saw that all the Chinese action stars in that, they're trying to market and package American films that have a broad appeal not only here, but also will appeal to a Chinese audience, the widest possible way. And of course, here we go, putting Matt Damon smack dab in the middle of Great Wall of China, an action, fantasy epic with the largest Chinese cast ever assembled. And so Hollywood is really thinking, it just, they have to, play both sides of the fence. This is the largest East-West production there is. And, it's not hard to see, it looks just kind of forced. You know what I mean? When it works, I'll be the first one to say that. But watching this, it seemed like they just tried to bang both worlds together and you just got a total mess. The great Willem Dafoe, the Green Goblin himself, Platoon, what are you doing in this movie? I absolutely have no idea what you're doing as a guy who's been there for 25 years, who also came looking for a trade route and maybe gunpowder. We don't even know his backstory. He's just there and he's not allowed to leave, And they say the same thing with Matt Damon and his buddy, the guy from Game of Thrones. And so they're trying to plan an escape route. Of course, where are you going to go when these devil dogs are attacking like every 15 minutes? And the devil dogs have a one-trick leap at you. They always do the thing with the mouth open, and they always just rah. You're just like, after the 15th time, you're like, okay, just really, is this all that it is? In between Matt Damon's Scottish accent, English accent, whatever accent it is that comes in and out. I don't blame Matt Damon. I really don't. Well, maybe I should. But the director is, oh gosh, I can't see. Yimou Zhang, who's, said that this is, part of Chinese culture and part of Chinese, mythology. And I just can't think that they could do a better job with this, less action, and more story, more of the mythology, more in the great city, more just build a little bit of characters, build a little bit of the story around it, and then have the devil dogs coming in, I really wish it was more dragons. I wish it was more traditional Chinese kind of mythology than these alien looking Geiger creatures that just really were annoying. They seemed so out of place. It looked like you took Hollywood sci-fi and Chinese mythology and just kind of Chinese culture and kind of blended them. They just don't go together well at all. So The Great Wall was a great disappointment. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Also, if you like what you see, please subscribe below, comment, share. When you see The Great Wall, if you're going to see it, just don't see it in 3D. It's not worth it. I wouldn't see it in 3D, but that's how they showed it to me. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Woo! I'll see you next time.